Atlanta violence is reaching an all-time high. Even yet, since last Saturday, August the 14th, till today, August the 21st, Atlanta has its deadliest week, reaching 100 total homicides so far in metro Atlanta. Now, let's start at the beginning of last Saturday. On August the 14th, officers were called to Andrew J. Hairston Boulevard just after 10 a.m. and found Dontres D Lewis, who age was 23, of Mobile, Alabama, who had been shot repeatedly. Police said Lewis was taken to Grady Memorial Hospital but later died of his injuries. Police said Lewis had been involved in a verbal dispute when the person he was arguing with pulled out a gun and opened fire. The shooter was last seen leaving the area in a gray sedan, authorities said. And his funeral is actually today. He's actually being buried today on August the 21st as I'm speaking. And another shooting that happened on the 14th. Around 5:29 a.m., officers responded to a person shot at 497 Oakdale Road Northeast. There they found a man who had been shot. The victim was transported to Grady in critical condition where he later succumbed to his injuries. In the last fatal homicide that happened that day on the 14th, Omar Taylor, who age was 39, was found with a gunshot wound inside of his car on the 600 block of Cascade Avenue just before 11:15 p.m. He was in critical condition when he was taken to the hospital but did not survive. Loved ones said Omar Taylor was struck in the head by a stray bullet that went through the back of his window when he was at a parking lot at an AutoZone auto parts store where he parked in front of two people that were arguing. Now, August 17th, Jerome Kidd, who ages 33, was found with a gunshot wound at the intersection of MLK Jr. Drive and Fairburn Road in southwest Atlanta, according to investigators. Officers were called to the intersection at about 11:30 p.m. McKibbins was already dead at the scene. Now, another shooting that happened on August the 19th was the death of Andre Clements, who age was 28, when he was killed in a shooting on Marietta Street, Atlanta police said. Officers were called shortly after 2 p.m. to 469 Marietta Street, where they found a man with a gunshot wound. Clements died after being taken to a local hospital, according to police. That was the 97th homicide victim that was reported in Atlanta. Now, the 98th victim was a person that was killed in a double shooting at an apartment complex in southwest Atlanta, according to police. Shortly after 7 p.m., officers were called to the Villages of East Lake Apartments on Greenhaven Drive. There, officers found a man with gunshot wounds, police said. Moments later, a second gunshot victim was found. And the last homicide that actually took place yesterday, August the 20th, it was a double homicide where two people were found shot to death on Sales Avenue in southwest Atlanta, according to police. Their names were not immediately released, but one person is being questioned by investigators, possibly a suspect. But these two people were brothers and sisters. I believe one was in their 20s, one was in their 30s. I'm not sure who was the person that was in their 20s, whether it was the female or male, but these both were brothers and sisters. So on record, Atlanta is expected to see at least 150 homicides by the end of this year, because we still have 4.5 months left to go at the end of 2021. So it'll be interesting to see what could be the next possible solution as to what could be done to prevent gun violence and just homicides and just unnecessary violence that could just be avoided. Take care of yourself, Atlanta.